The Businessmen's Art Class meets tonight at the Wistful Vista Civic Center. It's a strictly hobby affair for part-time painters. So guess who's practicing up in his living room right now with paints, brushes, and canvas? Yup, it's the Norman Rockhead of Wistful Vista. And his wife, Fibber McGee and Molly.
And when I found out that guys like Latrivia and Doc Gamble had took up art, guys with 2 left hands and 10 thumbs apiece, I went right down and I rolled myself into the class.
You enrolled yourself, dearie.
How could I enroll when I hadn't even rolled myself into it yet? Stand out of my light, will you? Thanks. Hey, how do I look in this smock and beret, Tootsie? Pretty professional, huh?
Very fetching.
Yep.
Like a chubby cherub with a blue serge halo. What is this thing again, the Businessmen's Art Class?
That's it. It's for businessmen only.
How'd you get in?
Pull.
Pull?
Mm-hmm. Pulled open the classroom door, pulled $5 out of my pocket, pulled a couple of gags, and bingo, I'm a businessman. Stand out of my light, will you? Thanks, I need that north light.
You say Dr. Gamble belongs to it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I never thought of the doctor as an artist.
Nobody does. The doc. His idea of painting is to dip a brush in iodine and have a patient say, ah.
Well, I will say he paints a mighty fine tonsil.
Of course, when it comes to art, Doc's got 3 strikes on him to start with.
How?
In the first place, he's got to have a brush with a 4-foot handle, you know, because with Doc's stomach, he can't stand close enough to the canvas to reach it with an ordinary brush.
Oh, no, I don't think he's that...
And being nearsighted, when he stands far enough back to reach it, he can't see it. He showed me a painting he done last week. Painting of Doris Day and Dennis Day eating frankfurters. He called it Every Day Has His Dog.
Dearie, are you going to paint something pretty soon? You've been cleaning those brushes off on that canvas for an hour.
What do you mean, cleaning the brushes? I am painting. Stand out of my light, will you?
You're what?
Yeah. Why, this is art, my dear. This is my own impressionistic study of life. You see, to me, life...
Just a minute, Michelangelo. This is probably the French Academy of Art wanting to hang you already. Or a posse with the same idea. Come in. Oh, no, it's just Ole. Hello, Ole.
Well, hello, missus. Hello, McGee. Hey, why are you wearing the nightshirt, McGee? You just get up?
No. This ain't a nightshirt.
That's a smock, Ole, like a sort of a loose coat.
Yeah, my gosh, didn't you ever see anybody wearing one of these things before?
Oh, sure, McGee. My missus always wears the smock when she's expecting a baby, but... You don't mean that you... Oh, no, that's too unlikely.
It certainly is, Ole. Himself here has just joined an art class. He's learning to paint.
Oh, I ain't exactly learning, of course, Ole. Always have kind of dabbed in art in my spare time. Sort of a Sunday painter, you might call me.
Well, that's interesting work, McGee.
Yeah.
I was a Sunday painter myself at one time.
Oh?
I had a good job painting Sundays on window of the ice cream parlor there.
Well, painting is nice relaxation, Ole, and I think everybody ought to have some kind of a hobby, don't you?
Yeah, I think so too, missus. You know, I make a suggestion like that once to my missus when I first get to know her, you know.
Told her to take up a hobby of some kind, eh?
Yeah, you know, she was just out of school, and she didn't know what to do with her spare time, so I say to her, Genevieve, I say, a girl like you should have herself a hobby. And she say, oh, Ole, this is so sudden, and the next thing I know, I'm wiping off lipstick, picking up rice, and 4 kids we got now.
She made a hobby of a hubby, did she?
But to get back to art, Ole, you see, the true artiste does not paint what one sees. The true artiste paints what one feels. Like this here. You take this picture I'm doing right now.
That's a picture, McGee? It looked like a paint salesman fall downstairs with his sample case open.
Well, he calls it life, Ole. It's short for life in a pinwheel factory, I think.
Well, to appreciate true art, one must have true understanding. This canvas is what we artistes call an impressure, or abstract. This is not what I see, you see. This is how I feel.
You feel like that? Good gracious, McGee, go lie down quick. I'll get a doctor, missus. Goodbye, both you fellas.
Oh.
Billy Mills from the orchestra.
Oh, I had a little putty tat who bit a guy named Shepherd. He'd been sitting on some polka dots and thought he was a leopard. Oh, the monkey now. There we are, kiddo. Another painting all done.
Mm-hmm. But what were you doing with the hammer and nails?
What do you mean, what was I doing? All artists do that when they finish painting the canvas, tacking it onto a wooden frame to keep it stretched out. It's awful hard to do, too, with the paint still wet and all.
Why don't you tack it to the frame first and then paint on it?
Oh, my gosh, Tootsie, I get some of the most interesting effects when I accidentally smear the paint all around. You see that painting over there in the corner?
Yes, I saw it when I first came into the room, and I've got a stiff neck from trying not to look that way again. What's the name of that one?
I call that one Kangaroo Reading Magazine on Fire Escape.
Why?
Well, because that's what it looks like. You see, when I finish a painting, I stand it against the wall, walk across the room, turn my back to it, lean way over and look at it between my knees. You'd be surprised how different things look there. This one looked like a kangaroo reading a magazine on a fire escape. I'm starting a new picture now that I'm going to call Gainsborough's Blue Boy. That's a pretty title, isn't it?
Been used.
Oh, it has? Well, I can always think up another.
Come in.
Oh, hi, old-timer.
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hello, daughter. Hello, Johnny. What you doing with the painting brushes and canvas? Painting?
Yep. Just joined the businessmen's art class. It learns us how to appreciate art. Ever do any painting?
Sure. Used to be a commercial artist. Painted signs on barns.
Oh?
Like, Chew Buffalo Bill Cut Plug Tobacco. Look on the label for the spitting image of William F. Cody. Stuff like that.
You still work at it?
Yes, daughter. In fact, I had me a job last week painting some road signs for the Wistful Vista Loan Company.
Oh, then.
Pick me out a big slab of stone and paint a sign on it that says, on the rocks, Stony Brook, well, you can take it for granted that we'll help you. Anyway, I didn't go on with the work because I was worried about Grandma.
Oh, what happened to her?
Well, you don't know, daughter. I think it was my mistake. You see, kids, Sunday was Grandma's birthday.
Oh?
And she had a little black necklace and one of them glittering little black brooches I got her and a set of jet earrings to match. Fool that I was.
Oh, so I think jet earrings are pretty on elderly ladies.
Well, me too, Johnny, but I must have got the wrong kind of jets.
Hmm?
Grandma put them on, lit a match to get a better look at them, and whoop! He took off from the front porch like a skyrocket. Last we seen of Grandma was a vapor trail heading southwest. That's why I can't get my mind on my job, kid.
Oh, I see.
So, you go on with your work, boy. Remember, you're painting for two now. You and me.
By the way, dearie, when is the next meeting of the businessmen's art class?
Tonight. That's why I'm painting so fast. Got to catch up with them other guys. I got a real feeling for this painting, you know what?
How does it feel? Wet and slippery?
No. I mean, I got a talent for it. Did you read where Betty Grable, the beautiful dancer, had her legs insured for $1 million? Well, as a painter...
You're going to insure your hands for $1 million?
No, my pants. For $16.50. Twice I've sat down in the wet paint now. The last time was on a picture I called View of Battleship Maine.
What did you do? Change the title to read As Seen from the Stern?
No, but yours is better. I changed it to View of Battleship Maine as seen by Rear Admiral. But I think yours is better.
Hello, Molly. Hi, pal.
Hi, hello.
Hey, they tell me you've joined our businessmen's art class, pal.
Yep.
Good for you. You'll enjoy it.
You been a member a long time, Junior?
Oh, several months. My cousin, Big Uppercut Wilcox, got me to join.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I get a big kick out of it. I see you're practicing up.
He certainly is, Mr. Wilcox. How do you like what he's done so far?
Well, it has a certain Well, there are one or two of them that, well, let's say they're interesting.
Yeah, let's say that. You see, Junior, I've been studying the theory of color. Now, when you mix red and blue to get green...
Pardon me, Botticelli. You mix red and blue to get purple.
I don't. I mix red and blue to get green.
With what result, pal?
I keep getting purple. Hey, what time is class tonight, Junior?
8 o'clock, and I'll be there. Can't wait, as a matter of fact.
You really like it, Mr. Wilcox.
Oh, I love it, Molly. I look at all those tubes of paint, and I say to myself, just like pet milk.
You know something? Pet milk must have a very sore back from being dragged in bed by the heels so often. How could looking into a box of paints reminds you of pet milk, pal?
Yes, how do you squeeze a commercial out of a tube of paint?
Well, I look at those tubes of paint, and I say to myself, Mr. Wilcox, I say...
Mr. Wilcox?
Well, certainly. I give myself the respect I am entitled to as a pet milk representative.
Boy, that's perfectly right. That's wonderful. Huh?
Oh, so I say, Mr. Wilcox, just imagine, in life's handsome portraits, all you have to do is spread them onto a canvas.
Yeah, but what that's got to do with how you get...
And the same with pet milk.
Oh.
In every can of pet milk, there is good, nourishing food for some baby or growing child, the ingredient for a marvelous dessert, the making of a delicious recipe, the right added touch for a cup of good coffee.
You see, McGee, it wasn't so far-fetched after all. Paint or pet milk, it's got to be used.
If he's trying to tell me to mix pet milk in my paints, I ain't going to do it. I have enough trouble as it is trying to mix a good green with red and blue and come out with a...
No. Look, pal, I am not suggesting that you paint with pet milk. I was merely pointing out the parallel. See, you've got to take the paint out of the tube to make a landscape. You've got to take the milk out of the can to make a recipe or a formula. And with pet milk's rich, nourishing, vitamin-fortified...
Hey, look, Milky.
That gives babies and growing children strong teeth and their parents wonderful dishes they can sink their teeth
Oh, yeah.
into. Mine got my way there a little bit. What were you about to say, pal?
Did you say your cousin got you to join the businessman's art class, Mr. Wilcox?
Yes. My cousin, Big Uppercut Wilcox.
Oh, the prize fighter. How'd he come to take up art?
Well, he was spending so much time on the canvas that everybody began to give him the brush, so he thought he'd capitalize on it. So long, Molly. See you tonight, pal.
Anytime I can't paint as good as him, I never would have took it up. Now, you take this painting here, the one I'm working on. What do you think of this composition?
What do you mean by composition?
Composition, my dear, is when an artist arranges the different elements into the picture so that when it's hung in a gallery, people can look at it a minute and turn to his wife and say, "Hey, Nellie, am I nuts or is that thing put up sideways?"
Well, in that case, sweetheart, you have the most wonderful... save for making a very snide remark. Come in.
Well,
hello, boy.
hello, my dear. Hello, Da Vinci.
Oh, hi, Sag Slacks. You going to be at the businessmen's art class tonight, Doc?
Certainly.
As a matter of fact, McGee, we work from a model tonight.
Oh, is that
Dr.
so?
Gamble and I stopped by to pick you up. Get your hat and let's go.
Okay, Molly's coming too. I want her to see how we businessmen relieve the stresses and strains of the day's work and lighten the tension of competitive enterprise by the development of a cultural hobby.
Oh, to mention an unthinkable family relationship, brother.
Hand me my medicine case, Mayor. He's making me ill.
You say you boys are using a model tonight, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, tonight for the first time.
Good. I'm always good at mechanical stuff. What'll we use the model of, you suppose? Train, airplane, steam engine?
This is life class, Eggface. We use a live female model.
They do say a live one is much better, even though they don't hold a pose as well.
Live model, eh?
Oh, now, don't look so perturbed, McGee. After all, to give somebody a job, $1.50 an hour, and all the influenza they can pick up.
On Thursdays and Fridays, we do landscapes and still life, respectively.
It's the best way to do them.
Yes. Last Friday, we painted a beautiful still that Mail of Trivia brought us, confiscated from a moonshiner.
It was nothing, really. McGee, what are you looking so anxious about?
Well, my gosh, let's see. I never... I mean, a live model. Well, this is the first time I ever... Well, that's kind of embarrassing.
The way you paint a bowl of tulips would be just as embarrassing.
I think you're being a little silly, McGee. How do you think artists learn to paint the so-called human form divine? From reading Esquire?
Well, that ain't a bad way. But, gee, where's... Oh, now, look, fellas, maybe I better not go tonight. I'll wait for the landscape class Thursday.
Oh, nonsense. Relax, McGee. This is a very impersonal business. Nobody talks to the model, and the model talks to nobody.
Yeah, come on, McGee. Get your stuff together. It's getting late now.
Well, okay. Get your coat, Molly.
All right.
You understand, fellas, that it ain't so much I don't want to go. I do. Because I feel that art is a serious study, not to be approached lightly. I feel that to give oneself truly to one's art, one must approach one's subject with a deep feeling of reverence. The true artist is one which he immerses himself completely into one's masterpiece.
Thank you, Grandpa Moses. Come on, everybody.
Oh, this ought to be lots of fun tonight, Doctor, watching you boys paint.
I'm glad you came along, Molly. Down this way, McGee.
So am I, Molly. Doc and I aren't very good at it, but we have a lot of fun.
Incidentally, McGee, I still think you should have brought your smock and beret along in a package instead of wearing them like this. Nobody else is wearing them.
Oh, that's silly. Why change clothes when I get here when I had them on all day long anyhow? Besides, how else can anybody tell I'm an artist?
An excellent question.
I wonder what kind of a costume she'll wear, fellas. Not that it matters. I can paint anything, of course, but
Well, I doubt that she'll be wearing hip boots and an overcoat, McGee. This is art. The class tonight is supposed to study muscular action and body structure.
And to think I joined this thing to get away from my work.
Oh, well, the classroom's right around the corner there, McGee. You and Molly go ahead. I have to get my paints and brushes out of my locker.
And so do I. We'll meet you in the classroom, kids, right away.
All right.
Go right in.
Well, which way, Doc? Right? Oh, never mind. We'll find it then.
Don't catch your heel in the hem of that smock again, dearie. You nearly fell coming in, you know.
I'm okay. My gosh, this Civic Center is a big joint.
Yes. We came here to a dance one time, remember?
Wait a minute. Let me ask this guy where... hey, Bud.
Yes, sir?
We're kind of lost, Bud. Can you tell us how to get...
Oh, well, I'll be delighted to direct you, sir.
Uh-huh.
I can see at a glance that you're looking for the Happy Hearts Club Masquerade and Comic Costume Party. It's on the way.
No.
And let me say, sir, that you've got on the funniest get-up I've seen all evening. And they've been going by here in droves.
Oh, no, sir. You see...
Oh, miss, if your father doesn't win first prize in that George, you ought to scream your head off. What a sense of humor. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Dad, cut it out. I'm not looking for the masquerade party.
Of course not. We're looking for the art class, sir.
Yes.
Oh, the art class. Are you a model, baby? Because if you...
No, she ain't a model. She's a model wife. Mine. Doggone it, Bud, I'm an art student, and I want to know where...
Oh, well, I'm happy to have you as a student, sir. Permit me to introduce myself. I'm your instructor, Rembrandt J. Fink. At your service.
How do you do, I'm sure, Mr. Fink? But isn't it about time for class to start? Because...
Oh, yes, indeed it is, madam. Right through this door here, please.
All right. I'm kind of anxious to see this, dearie.
Where do the experts sit, Bud? Because I'm the type of guy that I want...
Well, just grab an easel any place, sir.
Okay.
Oh, this will be a very interesting session tonight. Our first session with a regular model. Oh, this will be fun.
Yeah, we heard about that, Remy. What kind of costume will she wear? Bathing suit or...
Certainly not, sir. Our class tonight will concentrate on muscle and bone structure, torso study.
Oh, you hear that, Molly? She's going to wear a wedding dress. A torso.
I don't think he meant that.
Oh, that's great, Bud, because I got lots of white paint and I can draw swell lace, boy. Have her carry a bouquet, too, because...
Our model, sir, will not be wearing a wedding dress or anything else. After all, when one must study the muscular structure of the body, one cannot be impeded by useless drapery.
Well, no, but my gosh, hey, ain't it going to be pretty chilly in here for... I mean... A model without any... that is...
Well, now, don't worry about that, sir. Lillian won't mind. She's used to it.
Oh.
You can sit right here next to your husband, Mrs. McGee.
Thank you, sir.
And remember, sir, that... Oh, hello, Dr. Gamble. Evening, Mayor.
Hello, boys.
Ready to start, Professor?
Yeah, right away, gentlemen. Set your easels up, and I'll go get the model ready. All right.
A live model. Hey, Doc, I don't know about this.
Oh, yeah, but McGee, if you're going to learn to paint, you have to have a real model.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was going to be that real. My gosh, I'll be nervous. I won't be able to...
Pipe down, McGee. Class is starting.
Yeah, but...
All right, students, quiet, please. As you know, we have engaged a model for tonight. Our first session as a real-life class. Let us all concentrate on the bone structure, the flesh tones, and the muscular action. All right, Joe, bring Lillian out now.
Listen to that, Molly. She's caught cold already. Poor kid.
Dearie, you can open your eyes now. Lillian is a horse.
A horse? Hey, Molly, you think I'd paint any better if I took off a little weight?
Not a bit. What gave you that idea?
Well, that instructor tonight, he said I was the most fatuous guy in the class. Me, fatuous. And old Doc Gamble sitting there weighing 90 pounds more than me.
Oh, well, favoritism.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night, all.
We find Mr. McGee.